Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. We have been discussing the purpose of the man's creation, briefly stated, to establish a just, peaceful, and materially as well as intellectually growing society, ensuring complete submission to Allah's will and well being of the mankind. Allah's will and well being of humanity, mankind. For well being of the mankind, a society needs to be progressive and functioning justly and peacefully. Material progress is based on intellectual growth, which is dependent on higher knowledge, wisdom. As vicegerent of Allah, the man is supposed to emulate Allah's attributes, His character. What is emulate? Emulate is to copy or to imitate. For the good of mankind. For what? For the good of mankind. For that, Allah has blessed the man with control over the resources of the universe and empowered the man with the abilities of observation, five senses, intellect, mind, and spirit as sources of higher knowledge or wisdom. The Qur'an inspires the man with higher knowledge by giving him lead information on the wonders of the universe and his own self. What is lead information? It is the advanced information. It is the consciousness, indicators. Why this all is done? So that he may enhance his consciousness about the creator of the universe and develop his abilities to effectively employ resources of the universe for establishing a progressive society aiming at what is the purpose? Aiming at goodness of the mankind. Ultimate purpose. Goodness of the mankind. This perspective leads us to build this background. What we have discussed leads us to build seventh argument. The Quran inspires the man for higher knowledge, supporting that the Quran is a revealed book. So, dear friends, there is a large number of Quranic revelations, Quranic verses inspiring the man for higher knowledge. Let us begin with Ayat 30 of Surah Ar-Rum, wherein the man is desired to adhere, to follow to the nature of Allah on which he has been created. It means the man is blessed with intrinsic inclination to know Allah's divinity and His established divine order. The ayat says, listen, adhere to the fitrah of Allah. Fitrah of Allah, the nature of Allah, upon which He has created all the people, you, me, and everybody. Fitrat Allah hillati fataran nas alayha. Allah's attributes manifest His nature, His character. So the man is directed to emulate Allah's attribute, His character. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized this direction by saying, "Takhlaqu bi ikhlaqillah," which means adopt the attributes of Allah. Vastness of His attributes is such that even if seas, oceans become ink and trees of the universe become pens, it will not suffice to describe his attributes as revealed in ayat 109 of Surah Al-Kahf and ayat 27 of Surah Luqman shown on the screen. So, dear friends, there are several Quranic verses which reveal the creative and progressive attributes of Allah, inspiring the man to nurture, to develop his faculties of inquiry and investigation of the wonders of the universe, to find invisible forces working behind their awesome existence and operations. The Quran reveals, the Quran reveals lead information, advanced information, leading information on such phenomena of nature, inspiring the man to enhance his knowledge through the abilities of observation, intellect, and spirit. Allah's creative activity is ever expanding, and so is the expectations from the mankind. They should also be creative, dynamic. In this context, some of such Quranic verses are quoted here. The man is quite oftenly bewildered, confused, seeing awesome mysteries of nature, especially when he feels assured that visible materiality of the observed phenomenon is not the final cause of its being, and even the advanced scientific knowledge fails to address his curiosity. He is not satisfied. The material cause. Here the Quran helps him solve such puzzles, telling him that there is nothing self-centered in the universe. Everything sustains with Allah's command. Let me repeat it. There is nothing self-centered. There is nothing self-centered in the universe. Everything, small or big, sustains with Allah's command. Note this Quranic explanation in ayat 35 of Surah An-Nur, which says, Allah is the light of the universe. Allah is light of the heavens and the earth. Allahu nurus samawati wal ars. Allahu nurus samawati wal ars. This light mentioned in the ayat or verse is the moving spirit of the whole universe, which makes all its organs mutually connected and their operations perfectly sustainable. This fact is further emphasized in ayat 115 of Surah Baqarah and ayat 3 of Surah Al-Hadid shown on the screen. Have a look. By revealing this fact, the Quran motivates the man to search the singular, one divinity working behind materiality of all the constituents of the universe. Whatsoever are the constituents, force working behind is a singular divinity of Allah. So, dear friends, regarding Allah's creative nature and His plan of an ever-expanding universe inspires the mankind to stay creative, innovative, and progressive as revealed in several Quranic verses. I may share three of them here. Ayat 24 of Surah Al-Hashr says, Huwallahul Khaliqul Bariul Musawwir. He is Allah, the creator, the originator, the shaper, designer, fashioner. How beautiful is the sequence. Just imagine. Allah is creator, evolver or inventor, designer or shaper. It indicates evolving nature of Allah's creative activity, expanding mode of the universe against the classic concept of a static universe as re-emphasized in Ayat 47 of Surah Az-Zariyat in the words. Listen. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ. And the heaven we constructed with strength. Not ordinary, very strong. And indeed, we are its expander. Ayat 29 of Surah Ar-Rahman also reveals this great fact in the words, يَسْأَلُهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ هُوَ فِي شَانٍ. Whoever is within the heavens and earth asks him, seeks his guidance and command. Every day he is bringing about a matter, addition in the matter, or add to the glory of creation. As we find Allah's creative and progressive attributes and expanding nature of the universe in these verses, in this context you may also consult some more verses shown on the screen. This anti-classic view of the Qur'an negates materialism and determinism, giving the mankind hope for growth, progress and freedom, especially the freedom of thought, intellectual growth and acquisition of higher knowledge. This is Quran. Now try to understand what is the message of Quran, how much we should be progressive and innovative in this world. So dear friends, in fact, it was cognitive and intellectual faculty accorded by Allah that gave the man distinction over the angels and jinns. Study these ayat referred on the screen. The purpose of imparting knowledge and consciousness of Allah's creation to the man was to enable him know Allah's great presence, appreciate His absolute authority over the universe, and serve the mankind, employing resources of the universe most effectively. As part of this purpose, the consciousness of Allah is best explained in a hadith Qudsi, in a very, very expressive manner. The hadith says, listen, كنت كنزا مخفيا فأحببت أن أعرف فخلقت الخلق لكي أعرف. Allah says, I was a hidden treasure, and I wished to be known. So I created a creation, means mankind, then made myself known to them, and they recognized me. This is the honor of man. Honor of the man. Hidden treasure in fact refers to Allah's attributes. Thus the man was desired to be a good model of his attributes. The more of these attributes a man assimilates in his self, the nearer to his Lord he is. To know Allah's attributes is to know working of the universe. For that, the man needs to be knowledgeable of the divine order, the laws of nature sustaining the universe, sustaining the each and every particle of the universe. For other part of the purpose, Allah has set a unique standard for serving the mankind as precisely revealed in Ayat 77 of Surah Al-Qasas in the words, listen, and do good as Allah has done good to you. Simple, very precise standard and principle. It means the man needs to be progressive and just for the well-being of mankind, pursuing the attributes of Allah. So, dear friends, for attaining higher knowledge and consciousness of Allah's great creative activity, the man has been blessed with many faculties. Many faculties. Let us study a few verses of the Qur'an in this context. Since the man was honored with the status of vicegerent to serve humanity, pursuing Allah's attributes, he has been accorded control over the universe, inspiring him to acquire necessary knowledge to employ its resources optimally for the benefit of mankind. Note the words of Ayat 13 of Surah Al-Jasiyah. I am translating it. And he has subjected to you whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth, all from him. Indeed, in that are signs for a people who give thought. Whosoever will give thought, he will get the message. He will get the underlying forces of all these matters. Inspiring the man to make best use of resources of the universe, he was empowered with the faculties of observation. What is observation? 5 senses. Intellect, mind, inspiration, heart, soul, and the Qur'an. The verses of the Qur'an inspire the man to become master of the universe by developing these faculties for higher knowledge, wisdom. Note Ayat 9 of Surah As-Sajdah. Then he proportioned him and breathed into him from his created soul and made for you hearing and vision. Hearing is a symbol of observation. Vision is a symbol of mind, intellect, and hearts. Little are you grateful. So, dear friends, despite blessing the man with creative nature, intellectual inclination, control over resources of the universe, and wonderful faculties to peep through the mysteries of nature, he was given lead information, advanced information through the verses of Qur'an to further probe the truth behind these mysteries so that he could get mastery over the universe by taking advantage of this advanced information. Ayat 269 of Surah Baqarah calls it sublime wisdom, sublime great wisdom, a source of great fortune for the mankind. Note the precise statement of the Quran. وَمَنْ يُؤْتَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. What is khairan kasira? Goodness in abundance, great fortune. But understanding of the Quranic inspiration or lead information can only be explored, granted by expansion of worldly knowledge and intellectual growth. In this context, I may quote here 3 verses of the Quran. Ayat 190 to 191 of Surah Al-Imran motivate the man to integrate faculties of observation and intellect, observation and intellect in the study of nature and contemplate on spiritual force working behind it. Note the words. Behold, look, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of night and day, there are indeed signs for men of understanding. Signs for men of understanding who intends to learn, who intends to understand, who is intellectually grown. Signs for men of understanding. Men who celebrate the praise of God, standing, sitting, and lying down on their sides, right, left, and they contemplate the wonders of creation in the heavens and the earth. Now, just think how dynamic the message of Qur'an you are observing. Ayat 53 of Surah Fussilat says, focus. We will show them our signs in the horizons, universe, and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. Quran is the truth. Ayat 185 of Surah Baqarah says, in the Quran is a guidance. Quran is a guidance for the people and clear proof of guidance and criterion. The whole, code of guidance, criterion. So, dear friends, there are hundreds of inspirational revelations in the Quran that may help explore new vistas of knowledge for better utilization of resources of the universe for the common good of people. Deeper thinking on such revelations may lead the man to spiritual vision, helping him to appreciate the unified divine order moving each and every particle of the universe, submitting to the unity of divine command. As two verses of Surah Rahman reveal this truth. Listen. وَالنَّجْمُ وَالشَّجَرُ يَسْجُدَانِ, and also يَسْأَلُهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. يَسْأَلُهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Let us briefly look at some of such inspirational revelations of the Quran here. Ayat 18 to 20 of Surah Inshikak say, and by the moon, when it becomes full, you will surely embark from level to level. Will surely embark from level to level, from one step to another step. So, what is the matter with them that they don't believe? After description of the moon, the verses refer that people will mount up level after level to the moon and other cosmic bodies. The word tarkabuna in the verse comes from the verb rakiba, which means to mount, to climb, walk on a path, embark upon, etc. This revelation may be an inspiration to the man to explore the celestial bodies, where landing on the moon is the first step, not the last step. Ayat 8 of Surah An-Nahl predicts advancement of transport and communication means. It says, and he created the horses, mules, and donkeys for you to ride and as adornment. Then note, and he creates that which you do not know. Opportunities are very open for development. Some more verses related to this subject are shown on the screen. Ayat 95 of Surah Al-An'am reveals unlimited division of an atom into subatoms, which is the basis of birth, death, and rebirth cycle. The word faliku in the verse means splitting of an atom, and al-nawwa means nucleus or atomic nucleus of some matter. It may be a clue for recent scientific discovery that atomic nucleus can be broken down into smaller nuclei by means of nuclear fission. The ayat says, focus on the words. Indeed, Allah is the cleaver. What is cleaver? Splitter, who divides, breaks. Allah is the cleaver, splitter of grain and date seeds. He brings the living out of the dead and brings the dead out of the living. That is Allah. So how are you deluded? Ayat 7 of Surah Az-Zariyat says, by the heaven, on oath of heaven, by the heaven containing pathways, orbits. The Arabic word il-hubuki, translated as furnished with pathways. Its verb hubaki means to weave closely, to knit, to bind together. Two scientific discoveries in the area of astrophysics are referred here. What is astrophysics? Astronomy and physics. In astronomy context, the orbits and pathways in the universe are densely intertwined like the threads in a piece of cloth. Our Milky Way, just focus on the figures. Our Milky Way, one of billions of galaxies in the universe, contains more than 400 billion stars along with their innumerable planets and satellites revolving around their respective orbits. Imagine the number of celestial bodies, their orbits, pathways, and mastery of the Creator who is keeping them disciplined while resolving at immense speeds. In the context of physics, the description of the sky in the Qur'an using a word woven, knitted, may be a reference to the strange theory of physics. It tells that the basic elements which comprise the universe are not point-like particles, but strings or waves. This subject requires a lot of analytical details, thus we will discuss it exclusively in one of our upcoming lectures. Ayat 49 to 51 of Surah Al-Isra revealed fossilization of human body and iron contained in the human body. Note the words of ayat shown on the screen. We will discuss it in detail in an upcoming lecture. Ayat 25 of Surah Al-Mursalat inspires about Earth's gravitational force that we will discuss in another lecture. Note the words of ayat shown on the screen. Ayat 71 to 73 of Surah Al-Waqiyah inspire about secret behind the photosynthesis, creation of fire and wood that we will discuss in another lecture. Note the words of ayat shown on the screen. Dear friends, there are several more revelations that give lead information, advanced information directly, or they inspire the man to explore the truth behind apparent materiality of things. We will discuss them in upcoming lectures, inshallah. Here we conclude our discussion. For reference, today's lecture number is 215. Please subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures. Their written versions are also available at website www.ideafoundation.com.pk. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.